Snow avalanches could be a real problem for travelers in western US and Canada, and a very common type of avalanche is the slab avalanche. They've been studied extensively by a professor of civil engineering at the University of British Columbia. Slab avalanches in Canada have an average thickness of 67, and the Ski Patrol at Vail is studying the avalanches in their region. So they take a sample, giving the following thicknesses. Assuming that the thickness is approximately normal, is there evidence that the slab thickness in the Vail region differs from that in Canada? Okay, so what we would be testing for is if we have a difference from Canada, and we have the value of Canada of 67. So our null hypothesis is that there is no difference from that, and so the population mean mu that we're looking at here would be what's the population mean value for Vail, and this statement says it matches the 67 from Canada, and we're just asked if it's differing. So this is a two-tailed test where we're doing mu not equal to 67. From this data set here, if you stick this in your calculator, you can get all the summary statistics. The sample mean of this data is 61.8125. The standard deviation of this data is 10.6472, and there are 16 data values. Notice that this is a small sample size. It is not greater than or equal to 30. That is why this part here is important that says that we can assume that these values come from a normal distribution. So we can use t-based inference. We take our sample mean of 61.8125, subtract our population value that we're testing for, 67, divide by 10.6472 over the square root of 16. This produces a t-test statistic of negative 1.949. Degrees of freedom is n-1, so that will be 15. Our p-value in this case will be the area in both tails, since we're doing a two-tailed test. So we would have both plus or minus the 1.949, and so we're looking for how much is that shaded area there. So if we go to StatKey and we enter degrees of freedom of 15 for our t, then we will do two-tailed test here, and then we had a test stat of negative 1.949. So you can see we get 0.035 in each of those tails, so we want to add those together or double that amount. So our p-value is 2 times 0.035, which is 0.07. There's no significance level stated here, so we can assume 5%. This is greater than alpha 0.05. So in this case, we would fail to reject our null, which means we do not have significant evidence of the alternative. So we would write out here as our research conclusion, we do not have significant evidence that the population mean slab avalanche thickness in Vail differs from that in Canada.